So here I am again, slipping through the cracks and skulking in the sunlit shadows into the psychedelic sepia of 1950s colour plate England, Wirksworth Derbyshire style. Just as the West Midlands is of course the county of lost papier-mâché dinosaurs, as testified by the yawning empty spaces in what was once Birmingham Museum City and Art Gallery and the Imperial in Walsall, Derbyshire seems to be the county of lost ideas for me. I once wished fervently in a wishing well in Matlock for something I now can't remember. It seemed to matter an awful lot at the time. And equally, I once had a fabulous idea for a mini-series inside the church in Wirksworth. Perhaps I'll remember what it was today. If only the woodpecker sighs. That's a bit of all right, isn't it? Imagine waking up and opening one of those windows to look out upon the church. Ian Nairn reminded us in his film on Halifax and Huddersfield that a view is a two-way responsibility. I think he'd have been more than happy with the way in which these two buildings equip themselves, don't you? Here it is, the best complete set of Minton floor tiles in Cummings' world. Considerably better than the ones in our hallway at home. Try as I might, wheedle and plead as I might, I could not make the man in the yard in Stoke-on-Trent find me any with dragons or butterflies on. More's the pity. What a thrill to have these echoing stone spaces to yourself for a moment on a summer's afternoon, all full of art and atmosphere, oozing with fragments from the past. Wirksworth Church interior, spectacular event number 1. The lid of the tomb of Betty. Not, thankfully, my Auntie Betty, who's still very much with us and looking after dogs in Preston, Lancs, but fabulous nonetheless. There he is, the old man of Bonsall, transplanted from the church there, but nonetheless appropriate here in Wirksworth, which made its name lead mining. He looks like he's carrying a Sanyo tape-to-tape cassette recorder, like the one I bought in Comet in Dudley in 1982. But I don't think he is. Fancy a bit of visual skull association?
Is that like building word association?
Yeah, same rules. I say who it reminds me of, you say who it reminds you of.
Yeah, Cummings, who does that school remind you of?
Graham Garden of the Goodies, I think.
Right.
What about you?
Norman Tebbit.
Yeah, you've got a point. On your bike, Skullface. And look at him. Terminator 8.
Is that not a bit irreverent?
No, it's Arnold Schwarzenegger. Christ, Harris. And all of a sudden, just like that, I'm drained of irreverence and fully reverent again. I'm bursting with pride to live in a country where an experience like this is free. What did I say? All oozing with fragments. Speaking of irreverent, that reminds me of that funny fad a few years ago of having your feet nibbled by fish in the shop window in the high street. What was that all about? Here we go again. The model within the model within the model within the model within the model. Perhaps that's what the novel or the mini-series was about. Probably, knowing me. Particularly lovely, clothed in cobweb for some reason. The lion and the oss have been depizzled, of course. What prudes they were.
It's not a horse.
What's that, Harry?
It's not a horse.
It is. Something about the strange positioning of those two open stone coffins adjacent to one another like that puts me in mind of Pyramids of Mars or the golem running amok in the streets of Prague, that sort of thing. Macabre yet strangely exciting, nicely offset by the little tapestry triangles fluttering in the summer breeze. A nice lady with a dog just walked past, saw that I was filming, and said, "Can anyone join in?" Yet another of the clues, visual and otherwise, that you are no longer in Bilston. This reminds me of that bit in Baz Luhrmann's Romeo and Juliet, where the camera slowly pans up Leonardo DiCaprio on the beach to the Radiohead soundtrack. I imagine it has the similar effect on the ladies as well.
I've usually got that bit of the soundtrack in my head whenever I'm doing anything, to be honest.
Yeah, particularly this.
Particularly when I'm standing in an old stone sarcophagus.
Well, Welcome
to the soundtrack of my life.
Well, loads of great English medieval parish churches get called the Cathedral of the something or other. The Cathedral of the Peaks, the Cathedral of the Dales, the Cathedral of the Marches, the Cathedral of the Army and Navy Surplus Store, the Cathedral of the Aquatic Pets Superstore. But this one takes it for me. There's something about the way it sits, asserting itself like Winchester or Salisbury Cathedral in its close, all definite and hunched and cruciform, with that funny little Hertfordshire-style spike on the top, drawing the eye to it and then away to the hills beyond, all crammed with Neolithic dream caves full of the skeletons of rhinos and woolly mammoths and brilliant Derbyshire prehistoric stuff. And that little spike sticking over the rooftops is the only little visual hint you get of the glories that lie behind. Lovely. More Ashbourne-style fluttering Derbyshire summer bunting. If I was the kind of person who said yay, I'd say yay. I like the way Wirksworth kind of rolls into itself, or canted angles, at odds with one another but working beautifully somehow. A lot of the streets seem to do something nice with perspective, quite French, maybe even a bit Belgian. What are you saying for? Is that a bloke trying to climb in through that window there?
No, it's a duvet, isn't it?
It's all about perspective, isn't it? If towns still had town walls, and therefore gates and tolls, this little corner would be worth the entrance fee alone. So what do you want to show me then, Harris?
I've been working on some Cummings Your Way merchandise.
All right. And what's this then?
It's a prototype action figure.
Who's it meant to be?
Dan Cummings.
I don't know what to say, Lee. It's beautiful. It's so beautiful. Quarries are indeed not play areas. They are, however, stalwart science fiction sets and fabulously exciting visual backdrops. Speaking of which, behold the star disk, Wirksworth's very own stone celestial dial. Note to self, be here on a bright and star-filled night, and look up as the constellations reveal themselves, ever inward again and again. Berenice bobs her hair in the barber's on the square. All her newfound friends are there to see it done. Know what I mean?
Does it not make you feel a bit like certain sequences of Michael Palin and Emmerich Pressburger's 1946 Meisterwerk, A Matter of Life and Death here?
No? Don't know what you're talking about. And here it is, the thing that really floats my boat, being able to step into a vintage British rail travel poster. Is there a reason why they don't put Wensfield on those things?
Everyone instinctively knows how far away Wensfield is.
Good point.